Our gospel lesson today is the familiar and much loved parable of the sower. We're familiar with the story that Jesus talks about sowing seeds, the sower who goes out to sow seeds on a variety of grounds. That the seed is sown in rocky ground, that the seed is sown in thorns, in weeds, and that the seed is sown in good soil. We know that the parable talks about how the seed that is grown in rocky soil doesn't quite have enough foundation to support itself, to maintain its growth. And we know that the lesson of the weeds is that as the seed grows, it's strangled by the weeds, that the weeds prevent it from growing as much as it could. And we know, because many of us are gardeners, many of us are tending our garden, our vegetables, our plants. Many of us know that the seed that is grown in good soil bears fruit, grows strong. So we take from the parable of the sower that story that if we want to grow something, probably rocky soil, probably weedy soil is not going to be where it's most successful. That indeed the place of good soil, healthy soil, is a place where it grows the best. What we often don't hear what we often don't hear with this parable is the scene that's set at the very beginning, those very first couple of verses. That Jesus goes out in a boat, that he's escaping crowds once again. That seems to be a theme. That Jesus is in a boat when he tells us this story. We don't know what kind of boat. We don't know if he's intending to head anywhere. We just know that he's in a boat. And from that boat, he offers us this parable of the sower. So as we each ponder this parable this morning, that lesson that we are very likely familiar with, the rocky ground, the thorny ground, the weeds, and the healthy ground, that there's another part of the story as well. And that's what we do from the boat. First of all, how each of us in our own separate boats, metaphorical and not, how we are maintaining our safety on the water. flotation devices, good equipment. Let's even throw in a mask or two just because. But here's this other thing too. What do we bring with us in the boat? What are our resources as we tend to the parable of the rocky ground, the weeds, or the healthy ground? What tools, what resources do we each bring into the story? So friends, as I continue to float, thankful for the tools in my boat and the equipment at hand, I want you to ponder what is in your boat. What do you bring to this parable? What do you have to foster healthy soil? And what would you like to grow? How can what each of us brings to the table sustain our faith and even regenerate it? So again, as we float for just a little bit longer, what do we bring in the boat with us? What resources are at hand? And what would you like to plant to regenerate your faith? Amen.